What is up, Geeky Saiyan Army? It's Kanan.
It's Jessie.
And we are the Geeky Saiyan couple, and welcome back to our episode 2 of RWBY Fairytale Theories. Before we start, please remember, if you like the video, please hit that subscribe button. We're getting very, very close to the 350 to 400 mark, so let's get there very, very soon so we can hit our pretty much our long-term goal of 1,000 subscribers. Once we get there, we'll start thinking even further, but that's our main goal, is 1,000 subscribers. All right, so today's episode is all about the Grimm that has just warmed everybody's heart in the fandom, and that is the Hound. It was officially named the Hound a couple of days after the chapter aired, and the artist who designed the Grimm put up all these pictures of it to show its different forms that we've seen so far, plus its size compared to RWBY. And many theories have been flying around about the Hound, and I've been mostly looking at it like, what could this thing be based off of? As far as like theories within RWBY, there's one that's been going around about how this Grimm is somehow connected to Summer, and I don't really see it. And there's a lot of people that's been saying that this is the big bad wolf, but this Grimm is not really designed like a wolf. It's more designed like a dog, a big hound. It actually, the way it looks in its regular dog form, it reminds me of the Mabari from Dragon Age in a way. The way it's shaped and all that.
Yeah, a little bit.
So I do not think it's based off the Big Bad Wolf, because that's what the Beowulfs are based off of. That's why it was, even though they were shadow wolves in the Red trailer, that's what eventually became the Beowulf, and it was said that that's why they were there, was to connect the little Red Riding Hood thing. So I do not think it's based off the Big Bad Wolf. I was given a few ideas by two of my mutuals on Twitter. I'm going to shout them out right now. The one of them goes by RWBY Neuron. Their Twitter will be in the description. Go check them out. They make a lot of great stuff using the Gotcha Life app. They make a lot of RWBY gotcha stuff. And also Actor Central, who is a fellow smaller channel like us. He's a great guy. He's a voice actor, a cosplayer. He does a really good fan dub of the anime adaptation of Bastard. And he does an amazing Crow cosplay. Both his YouTube channel and his Twitter will be in the description. So I wanted to give them a shout out because they gave me some ideas to go into this little video. All right, so the biggest theory as far as the RWBY fandom goes I've seen is, of course, the Summer one, which I don't really buy yet, because this Grimm doesn't really have a connection to RWBY in any way. But Jess has a theory that I've not really seen anyone else point out, and she thinks Salem can directly control this Grimm in a way.
It's little things that I've picked up on, even through hints that we've seen in like teaser clips that we had before this volume started. The trailer, obviously, but from what we've seen so far, like, I don't know, everything's just connecting. The trailer is one thing that really caught me, and I connected it, and it was after we did our analysis and everything. I didn't connect this at first. The wings on the Hound Grimm looks exactly like the wings she has
in the intro.
Yeah. It's just a connection. I mean, it's not a ton to go off of, and we'll need to see more. But this Grimm in particular, I mean, yeah, we know she makes all the Grimm on a whim, but this one
is different.
This one's different. I think she directly controls this one, and when she touched, was it her throne? Or
yeah,
when she touched the stone of that, and it made a pulse. Yeah, that could have signaled other Grimm, but I think that's also her main way of controlling that one. She has also, I I didn't point it out in the one analysis either when we first really saw her, is that thing on her finger. It looks like it was just part of her outfit. No, it's some type of, like, ring. And she, like, very specific looking. So I'm wondering if that has something to do with it, too.
So pretty much, like...
Because it looks like it's made of Grimm, like...
So pretty
bone-like.
Yeah, so pretty much in your theory, you're thinking that's the reason why this Grimm's a bit smarter than the others, and also
because
why
it's linked to her.
And why it's able to talk.
Yes, not her talking through it exactly, but she's the reason why, because she created this one specifically, like no other. But I mean, in this doesn't just go with the whole theory of, okay, well, there's that. No, this is aside from just the fairy tale stuff. I mean, because there's multiple sides to things, as we've learned.
And of course, we're not saying all this is 100% true or not,
That's just what I've picked up on all the little details that seem to be overlooked a bit.
Yeah, the whole point of this video is just to give thoughts and how they can connect to fairy tales, though this one is going to go more toward the folklore. And also, I mean, who knows? The whole summer thing might turn out right, but as of right now, I just don't think there's enough to go on to that to even think that this Grimm has any connection to summer, because we still literally do not know what happened to summer yet. I mean...
I still have my feelings, and that's going to stay that way until proven otherwise.
So, like I said, yes, this one's going to be more so on folklore than fairy tale, though... really folklore and fairy tales kind of go hand in hand. So my first thought, I thought of the classic Sherlock Holmes story, The Hound of the Baskervilles. But the biggest thing about this is that in Home of the Baskervilles, the dog turned out to be just a normal dog. It was just a bigger dog that had been abused and all that had made it more aggressive, and it had like phosphorus spread on it to make it look like it was a supernatural dog. So that was like one of the first things that popped in my head until I read more about it. And also all the stuff that we are basing this off of will be in the description. So I don't think it's the Hound of the Baskervilles, even though, that's probably one of, if not the most famous Sherlock Holmes story. The fact that this Grimm is way more than just a dog Grimm kind of eliminates this one a little bit for me, but I thought it was worth mentioning. My first theory, though, was that this Grimm is based off the Hellhound. Now, the Hellhound is a supernatural dog in folklore that originates from the underworld. Now, think about this. If you think of think of Salem's world where she lives.
It's pretty much the underworld.
Yes, it looks like the underworld. And plus inside the, Monstra also looks like it's pretty much a floating underworld castle. And the thing about this one that really caught my mind was that in the myth and legend, they're seen as bad omens. Now, this whole volume is full of bad omens, but, it seemed like in chapter 2, at least, this Grimm, his appearance into the show was pretty much the omen that things are going to start going bad from here. Which, we can't talk about what goes on in chapter 3 because it's not out yet, but if you go watch our analysis, you'll know what we're talking about, how it could be like the first part of a domino effect of things getting very, very bad. It also states that the dog is often very loyal to those who call upon one. And of course, this thing is 100% loyal to Salem. Even though technically she didn't call upon it, she more than likely created it. That's another drawing point that how loyal it is. Also, you were gonna say something?
Another thing and then this goes through not just RWBY, like several things. I mean, no, we don't support it, but in Harry Potter, they talk about the dark omens, and that was the black dog which is serious. I can't remember the technical term. It's late. But, and there's another book that I've read that's also omens is another thing, and they appear. Well, they'll, like, you'll randomly see them even in the distance if it's just a glimpse of something, which this fits that story, because we saw that.
Mm-hmm.
And, I mean, no one saw it. So there's a lot of people that missed it at first, but, like, through that episode.
Yeah, yeah.
Since that one's out, I can talk about that one.
Apparently the Hellhound is also an omen of death. Like, apparently if you just see one or hear it howl, it may, that alone may cause death. I don't know if, I mean, the appearance of this Grimm might be an omen for future death in the show, especially this volume. That it also says here that sometimes it requires 3 sightings of the Hellhound for the curse to take effect. But it's hard to say. If someone,
it's more loosely based as far as that part goes, just because I don't see that as being. It was pretty much a warning, though. Like, 3 sightings, it was something bad was about to happen.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean,
because I think we did see it 3 times.
If Jean or Ren dies in this volume, then we'll know.
Yeah.
Then it says here they often are assigned to guard the entrances to the world of the dead, such as graveyards and burial grounds, or undertake other duties related to the afterlife or the supernatural. So if we get to see like someone, well, we've already seen Cinder and Neo enter it, but that was through a airship. Like, it'd be something if like you just came into the mouth and it was the Hound was standing there waiting, maybe. But I highly doubt we're going to see something like that. Yeah,
I don't know if I've actually seen a cemetery myself, but in movies and pictures, there is some cemeteries that outside the gates, up on, kind of like they sit like gargoyles, they're dog shaped.
Yeah. So as far as the appearance and abilities of the Hellhound, there are some similarities to the Hound Grimm. They have been said to be black as coal and smell of burning brimstone. Well, all Grimm have mostly a primary dark color. We don't know how they smell. I don't think anyone's ever commented on how they smell.
Well, I would imagine not great, but I mean...
They tend to leave behind a burned area where they go. Their eyes are a deep, bright, and almost glowing red. Other features that people connect to them are glowing red or sometimes yellow eyes, razor-sharp teeth, super strength or speed, ghostly or phantom characteristics, foul odor, and sometimes even the ability to talk. So, definitely some very, very close things here.
Some of that stuff you can relate to other Grimm, like the burning, not so much leaving a burning area, but the ash.
Yeah.
Burning, it's the same, kind of the same thing.
I believe all Grimm
Fire?
I believe all Grimm kind of have, like, glowing, like, kind of red eyes.
But that just further pushes that this is that Grimm.
Yeah.
Like, this one specifically, but, because the attributes to it would fit other Grimm as well, but this one specifically, this is just, it just kind of lines up a bit more.
Yeah, now razor sharp teeth and super strength or speed, I mean, there's a lot of Grimm that have that. Foul odor, we're guessing the Grimm probably don't smell good, but sometimes even the ability to talk. Now, that is definitely something that the Hellhound has that no other Grimm besides the Hound has, is the ability to talk. So, that's definitely, that could definitely have been pulled from this. Because, I mean, we know that...
Speaking of which...
Yeah, there's several pictures on here. But like I said, we will leave the link in the description so you guys can look at all this. Because we know RWBY definitely pull stuff, from fairy tales, from folklore, and other things to use in the show. So I don't think it'd be very far-fetched to think that they didn't use the Hellhound as part of inspiration. Now, this thing right here, I think might be a home run. This creature is called the Clude. I'm thinking that's how that's pronounced.
Is there a pronunciation thing next to it?
I don't think so. It has different other kinds of names, but if I butchered that, I'm sorry. But apparently this is a creature in Dutch folklore, but mostly in parts of Belgium. And it's known as a tormentor. It has been described as a water demon, supposedly a big dog that walks on its hind legs with heavy chains, at least one around its ankle, bear claws, a black beak, green glistening scales on the bat wings on its back, and crimson-colored bulging eyes. So we've pretty much got a big monster dog that has wings on its back. I'm not going to show the picture it has because it's an artist drawing, but like I said, we will leave the links. And if you Google this thing's name, there's just a ton of pictures of that description of like a monstrous dog with wings on its back. And I gotta say, looking at him, I automatically thought of the Hound.
It might be a cross between
this and the Hellhound, yeah.
I think they took stuff from the Hellhound for multiple Grimm. Yeah. Which is, because like I said, a lot of the stuff lined up. But I think they took bits and pieces from that and mixed it with this.
It also said that this creature is a child terror, and pulls children into the water. Now, I don't like that. Just automatically screams to me the picture of this thing running away with Oscar in its mouth. Just like we saw in the show.
Yeah.
It can move at immeasurable speeds and is said to spawn from the cremated bodies of witches and wizards. She's not been cremated, but Salem creates all the Grimm. So that kind of fits that this thing came from a witch. Some say if you were to kill it, 7 more would crawl from its corpse. I don't know if that's going to happen. It says it likes to play dangerous games such as jumping on unsuspecting passersby and becoming increasingly heavy. This thing jumped Ren and Oscar. So, I mean, you could see that.
In the corner, it says, this is related to a Hellhound. So, it is a twist with that.
Where was it?
Look in the corner.
Oh, okay.
So, this is a branch of a Hellhound.
Yeah.
So, I wasn't very far off then.
Yeah, sometimes
I didn't notice that until I looked closer.
Says it can sometimes be found in reeds, under bridges, and inside of hollow trees. Should one encounter the beast, their best hope is that their feet are faster than this thing's claws. Well, yeah.
Good luck.
Says throwing a handkerchief could save their life. Okay, so this thing must have a thing for handkerchiefs. Just like with the werewolf, this fiend has no other choice but to rip apart carefully, fiber by fiber. Well, that's a very nice thing. Some say that this... see if this is... Now, here is something very, very, very interesting. This thing is apparently a shapeshifter. Says it has the ability to change into a wide assortment of animals such as ravens, snakes, cats, frogs, bats, and even trees that grow high above the clouds. Other times he would show up looking like a human being. Anything was possible, really. So this shows me others believed it to be a werewolf, a demon, or even the devil himself. There's people who believe it teamed... Okay, so it's a shapeshifter. Now, the Hound is not exactly a shapeshifter, but it can change its body and form and all that. And
we just watched it do that.
Yeah, so... I'm thinking that just reading what we've read, I'm thinking... this thing is more than likely a combination of the Hellhound and the Clude. I'm sorry
if I'm... Which, technically, I mean, this is, if you actually look at it, this is a branch from Hellhound mixed with. It says Hellhound and Tormentors. Like I said, it'll be in the description, but it's a branch off of that.
And like seriously, if you Google this thing's name, it's literally a monstrous dog with wings, and it like,
It really does fit the combination of the Hellhound stuff in this, and knowing that this is a type of Hellhound. I mean, come on, you look at it, and that's the first thing you're gonna think of is it's some type of hellish dog
with wings. So it's really hard to say where the story is going to go because
it's just about it, what it is. There's no
because we don't even know
story to go off.
Because as of right now, chapter 4 is not aired, so we after that chapter, we don't know if this thing is really going to have any other role in the show
than bringing
Oscar. Like it might deliver Oscar, and then that's the last thing we see of it. But the big deal about this Grimm is the fact that it's smart and it can talk. It was tough enough.
Other Grimm are terrified of it.
Yes, and it was tough enough to to throw Yang like she was a doll, and also throw around Ren. John was going to attack, but, it was using Oscar as a shield, which is something that this thing has unbelievable intelligence if it is just working on its own. The fact that it had to pretty much break its own jaw and all that to talk, that's just disturbing, but it kind of does fit in a way that it's a combination of both. Though someone at Rooster on RWBY has got to be a Dragon Age fan because, like I said,
it's got similarities to the Mibari.
Yeah,
so.
It really does. So until it transforms, but we're just talking about its basic dog form. Because when it first attacked Oscar, it pretty much attacked like a dog does. Poor Oscar was kicking at it. Yeah, pretty much. And Oscar was kicking at it like most people do when a dog does attack them. But yeah, so unlike the Penny video, there's not really a narrative we can follow to say.
Since this is more folklore than Fairytale.
Yeah.
It's hard, but I mean, for this, we're at least getting the basis of what it could be.
Yeah.
It may be something, and then it may actually follow something else, or like another fairy tale or something that it goes with. But until we see more, we won't know. But I think this is just a tool to be used. I don't think it's going to be.
It's not going to be like story important. No, I don't think.
But knowing what it is, it is a hellhound with this branch of it.
Yeah. And I just gotta say, I am really happy that RWBY are coming up with these very different types of Grimm to make the Grimm more of a threat again. Because let's face it, up till about Volume 6, everybody says the finale of Volume 2 ruined the Grimm because everyone made them look like pushovers. Yeah, we had the giant wyvern in Volume 3. Then we had the Safe Along Dragon in Volume 4. It was a cool looking Grimm, but it was in one episode, and Blake and Son took it out very easily. Starting in Volume 5, where we had Salem's pod-like thing that killed Lionheart. That thing was creepy. And then we had 6. And I mean, we had the was it just called the Sphinx? The ones they fought, the big one they fought on the train. That one was cool, but it still kind of fell into the whole video game enemies kind of thing. But then the apathy happened, and the apathy sent a shockwave through the fandom.
What about the I can't remember the name of the one that was terrorizing pretty much Nora.
Oh, the Knuckle V. Yeah. Then there was the Knuckle V. Yeah.
Creepy looking too.
How could I forget about the Knuckle V?
I couldn't remember the name. It wasn't coming to me.
The biggest problem with the Knuckle V, though, was that it was pretty much centered around Ren and Nora. And since they killed it, we've not seen another one since.
I don't think there really was meant to be another one, because it was one of its.
Yeah.
Just like this, I'm pretty sure this is just one of a kind.
Yeah.
There's not any others like that.
Yeah, and like I said, the apathy happened. Those things were super creepy. Like, RWBY literally turned into a horror show for those things. Volume 7, we got the introduction of Monstra at the end. So, this giant flying whale, which is still in Volume 8, but Volume 8 now has this thing. Like, I love that it seems like since Volume 5, I think earlier I said 6, but I almost forgot about 5. Since Volume 5, we've gotten these very unique, monstrous Grimm that are like just...
Godzilla.
Oh, yeah, Godzilla, yeah.
I forgot. Well, for
the Leviathan, yeah. But the Leviathan still got defeated in the end.
Yeah, but also showed that they needed walls. They needed a huge robot to be able to contain anything that was going to come out of the water.
With a little touch of RWBY's Silver Eyes.
Yes.
Well, it's like with the apathy. The only thing that defeated those things was RWBY's Silver Eyes. Because, like, it showed that, RWBY shot one of them and it didn't do a damn thing. And then the apathy worn them down to where they couldn't even fight. So, I'm loving that they're introducing these Grimm where...
They're actually a threat.
Yeah, like a gunshot or a simple swipe of a weapon is not going to take them down. So I like that. I like that they've started, like pretty much in Resident Evil 3, like, yeah, you've got zombies, woohoo, bang, they're done. But then you got Nemesis who shows up, and then it's a whole different ball game. So I like that they're kind of doing that. They're creating, I guess, these super Grimm that...
they're going to take more to take out. They're not impossible, but it's just they're going to take more.
And that's what I loved when this thing showed up. If you watch everyone else's reaction, including ours, this thing was horrifying. Like, it wasn't a typical Grimm. Not just because it was strong or smart, the fact that it can freaking talk.
And then when you go back and we went back and reviewed it, and even when I first saw it, did you see that?
Yeah, the thing was stalking them the whole time.
Stalking them, and that's another thing about, like, a wolf or a dog. It will stalk you.
Yeah.
Like,
cats more. Your pet cat will stalk you more than anything.
Yeah.
I wish we had a cat, because sometimes he'd probably like be watching us or something. But
just the eyes glaring through.
Yeah. But yeah, that was our little video on the Hound. Just to talk about what this Grimm could be based off of, because even though Grimm, like I said, the apathy and others have made shockwaves to the fandom, none have quite done it like this one, just because of how strong it is, how smart, and the fact that it can frickin' talk, which kind of fits with these two.
This whole group here.
Yeah, this whole group here, besides the Hound from Sherlock Holmes. But I hope this Grimm shows up later. I don't want there to be more than one Grimm that can talk, because at that point...
I don't think there will be.
Yeah, it'll get gimmicky at that point. I don't want all of a sudden there being talking Grimm like in RWBY Chibi. I kind of hope this is something that only this Grimm can do. And it's because it's just a very strong, supernaturally gifted Grimm that Salem has created. And... I mean, it was more than a match for Ren and Yang, and I mean, I've always considered Yang one of the more stronger characters of the show, and it
took her out.
Yeah, and I mean, it did throw her off because it was using Oscar as a shield, but it still just threw her for a loop. Like, if you look at Yang's face, she was horrified. All of them were. So I'm really excited to see what happens in Chapter 4, because they've already shown the thumbnail. If you've not seen it, I'm not going to spoil it, but there is scenes from the trailers that we've not seen yet, and one of them is Yang, John, and Ren chasing after this thing. So I'm guessing that's Chapter 4. I could be wrong, but I'm interested to see what happens. Like how do they even catch it? Does it just fly off to the whale? But yeah. I believe that's all we've got. Like I said, all the links will be in the description if you guys want to read this stuff for yourselves. It's a very little more of a creepier video, but hey, that's what happens when you discuss cryptids. But once again, I'm so glad they're making Grimm like this. It's just top notch. If you guys enjoyed the video, please hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, because it really does help people find the channel. Leave us a comment. Let us know what you think about this. Give us your theories on what you think the Hound is based off of. If you do subscribe, please hit that notification bell, because it'll notify you for every upload we do. We do RWBY reactions, RWBY analysis, and we're going to try and make this kind of video a weekly thing. We've got an Emerald and Aladdin video planned. I've been thinking of a Nora and Thor video planned, and of course, at some point, like, I don't know if it'll be right away, but we definitely want to do Bumblebee and Beauty and the Beast, which that'll be a way longer video, because there's a lot to talk about how they connected Blake and Yang.
Unless something happens that then
yeah.
it's going to push that.
Oh yeah, like if Blake and Yang do, like, if something super romantic happens between them at some point this volume, it'll definitely happen right away. Yeah, but if not, we'll wait till after the volume's over. But as always, guys, I'm Kanan.
And Jessie.
We love you very, very much. Even though this is the day after, we hope you had a really great Thanksgiving if you do celebrate it. Just so you know, not only do we love you guys very, very much, but we are super thankful for each and every one of you. We love you all. Hopefully you continue to support us and bless us every day by just watching our videos. And if you're not subscribed yet, please think about joining it. We try and put out stuff every single week.
Internet permitting.
Internet permitting, yes. Our internet's awful. If it was better, we'd put out like 5 or 6 videos a day. But
hopefully changes coming in the somewhat near future.
Yes, there may be some changes coming soon, but until it gets close, we're not going to announce that yet.
Once we have an official, we'll announce.
But we are planning on making a trailer for the channel. Plus, I think Jess and me are talking about changing up the intro to the videos, like updating it a bit, because we've had the same intro for over a year now. But
hey, I need the tools, okay?
But anyway, hope you guys enjoyed it. We love you all very much. Stay safe. Take care of yourselves out there. Have a safe Black Friday. Hopefully you're home by now. And we will see you in the next one. Bye.
Bye.